soldiers got together that 4th of July day. That's when the land you're standing on became the U.S. of A. United we will stand, but divided we fall. One nation under God says it all. Created equal, words written in by hand. They all stand to fight when a cry for freedom rings. Freedom isn't free, it comes with a cost. One nation under God says it all. One nation under God says it all. This whole world's changing, it's changing every day for the land of the free and the home of the brave. Stand up, everybody, stand proud and tall. One nation under God says it all.
Well, good evening and welcome to ITW Radio. It is, what's the date today? 9/25/2018. Tonight we have P.A.D, Problems in American Democracy, or Problems with American Democracy. We have Greg Williams back on the air tonight. We got some stuff cleared up. Greg, you there?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good to be back.
How's the cases and law stuff going these days?
I'll tell you, it's kind of tough out there, you know. Hey, don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Yep. Or don't, thank God you're not in politics.
Let me tell you, crime's been very good to me. There's, unfortunately in Jacksonville, we've got a lot of young, stupid, uneducated people that want to go out and shoot people. And we got a little gang problem. We got a big ignorance problem, probably from our school board. I give them part of the blame on that. I don't know what's going on, but we got too many people acting like jackasses.
Yeah,
it keeps me busy, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Maybe I should have been an attorney.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a rough field. I like that poster back there you got with Barney and Clint and the Keystone Cops, I think.
How about that?
Is that the Keystone Cops you got going on?
Well, the thing about it is, there's a lot of good people in law enforcement, but, there's a little human error there, too. And not every case is the case of the year. Not every case deserves jail time. We live in a society now, part of the need for criminal justice reform is we've got a lot of glorified misdemeanors are now felonies, and what should be a 3rd degree felony is now a 2nd degree felony. So, you got to be careful out there. I don't know who thinks of all these laws, but, with the further we stray from the common law as a country, the worse things get.
Yeah, well, let me ask you about the marijuana law while we got you on the air before we get into a bunch of politics. The marijuana law, pot is a class 1A drug. It's right up there with heroin and meth and all that.
Terrible law. They need to do something about it. I think they're going to try to clean that up in the Farm Bill.
Yeah, they need to do something about it because there's a lot of people, that I don't see where, if they're going to allow them to drink, and smoke cigarettes, allow them to smoke weed. It's the only, it's a natural.
In a free country, it should be legal. But here's the other thing: the federal government, my understanding is, they have a patent on marijuana. They already know about some of the curative and the healing powers and those cannabinoids. So they're already in the marijuana business, kind of in a backdoor thing. But they do need to go ahead and open it up. They're just trying to hand it off to Big Pharma, so nobody can use something that's basically free. It's a naturally occurring herb, but I would like to see it made legal, frankly, and I think we'd have less crime. I think we should have a very least a hard drug, soft drug policy. I think marijuana is not a gateway drug. Cigarettes and alcohol are gateway drugs. I think marijuana has got a big place in reducing the country's opioid crisis.
Yeah, I do too. Hey, let me ask you. We had Calvin O that opened up with the show. What do you think of that guy's song, "One Nation Under God"?
You know, it reminds me a little bit of Lee Greenwood, but with a little bit more of a baritone. You know, I'm trying to figure out what else it sounds like, but it's not a bad tune.
Yeah, we got
Kind of catchy.
some of these women over here going nuts. They have a group of women that listens to the show at nights. Like Mama B says, she just wants to stand him up in the corner and have him sing to her all night. We're gonna try to have him. I was telling you before the show. In December, I'm going to announce the date here in the next couple of weeks. I'm trying to get everything set up, but we're going to have Calvin O and Austin Neal and the guy we had on last night, Sean from Richter 7. I want to get you to come down here during that. I think you and Calvin get along good.
Good. I'll try to get down there. I love Palatka. Right next to Wheelatka, you know.
Yeah, that's probably where we're going to wind up having it, over in the National Forest over there. But we're going to try to do it to benefit some of the firefighters and the soup kitchen and some stuff like that, to put on a free show for the community, but to have them donate to some of the causes that really need it. Yeah, Calvin, I know Calvin's listening. He just wrote something in. He heard his song being played on there, so I know he's listening. So they got to kick some ass. We're also going to be giving away a guitar that he signed on there. I got two of them in the studio here. And then you said something about doing a thing for charity with a album you had a while back. I don't know if you still have the album.
I'm trying to think which one it
Leonard
was.
Skinner Gold album.
Yeah.
You gonna get ready to release that yet?
Hey, Simple Man Golden Record. I wonder what we could fetch for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Find something good to benefit it for. But
that may be something we could do.
Oh, Bill Crosby.
I don't know how many Leonard Skinner Gold records there are, but I know there are a bunch of them. But they still have some value.
Oh yeah, hell, Leonard Skinner's one of, and I did a show a while back on.
I love the Van Zants, but go ahead.
I did a show a while back on some of the different albums that, you know, mostly you have one-hit wonders on albums. You know, you'll have one song that people would, well, not today, they can get it off of Spotify or Reverb Nation, or they buy the single. Well, back in the day when they had albums that were actual albums or vinyl, you know, which albums was it that where they had more than one songs that were hits, or one album that you thought everything was good on
they
it?
had several. I mean, they were all their albums were really good. I thought they didn't have that many, but you know, until the band, you know, until after the accident. But I thought Street Survivors was a great album. I don't hear it that much, but there was a lot of hits on that song. That's the last album they made. It had a lot of good songs. That Smell, a lot of good stuff. And then I like, of course, what's that? Which one is that? Oh yeah. Pronounced Leonard Skinner. That's the one. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Pronounced. Leonard
Yeah,
Skinner.
that one was one of the albums that came in first on the show that I did, and also Boston was one of the ones that was one of the top. And then of course you had Phil Collins, and you had a few other ones that were in there. But yeah, hopefully we can get you to donate that, and we'll auction it off.
Freebird. Hey, Freebird. Freebird.
Oh yeah,
Great stuff.
we have to get Calvin to sing Freebird. Him and Austin Neal together.
One thing too, you know that song "Sweet Home Alabama"?
Oh,
a lot of people don't understand the line, the reference to Birmingham. And when Ronnie Van Zant wrote that, in Birmingham they love the governor, he was being sarcastic. He was being facetious. Birmingham is in Jefferson County. The only county that did not support George Wallace was Birmingham.
Yep. I remember that.
And the New York, and most of the people didn't get that. They're thinking, oh, they're all about Birmingham. No, it was like, well, Birmingham, they love the governor. Not really. You know, boo, boo, boo. Yeah. But great song, though. We love Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, I've got to get you an Alabama hat like this one to wear on the show. Roll Tide.
There you go.
There
you go. Well, I haven't been wearing my Florida State stuff as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we'll get better, though.
I don't know if they'll catch Alabama. Alabama's been kicking some butt.
No, yeah, we gotta wait till Saban retires.
Except for last week, every game's been over 50 points. So the first three games.
Alabama looks good. I can't wait to see Alabama, Georgia, Alabama, LSU. We'll see.
Oh, LSU! They're gonna walk all over LSU. LSU is our rival.
LSU does get every 3 or 4 or 5 years, give them a game.
Oklahoma State now they've got, they're still pushing over 50 a game.
Well, I'm also anxious to see Mississippi State, Florida this weekend.
Yeah, it should be a good game. I don't know.
Florida goes to Mississippi State coming off a loss to Kentucky on the road. So we'll see.
I'm giving Mississippi 6 points up. I don't know.
I got to go with Mississippi State in that game, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think the Gators might take them, but I don't know. I got to put Mississippi up by 6 points.
Well, it's kind of like I don't know who's more maddening, Bortles or Felipe. It's probably Felipe. I don't know if I really want to bet the ranch on Felipe yet.
Yeah, I just wait till this weekend and see. I don't know. It'll be hard to. Has Alabama got a game this week? Yeah, that's right. Who they playing? Any idea? I should know this.
They got nobody. Lafayette, Louisiana, directional school. No big deal. They'll roll this weekend.
Yeah, they're gonna take them anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm wasting my chicken wings when it gets to 30-something points ahead. There's no way these other teams are gonna. So I'm just eating my chicken wings and setting back, changing channels. Anyways, the politic thing of this. What a crazy freaking week. I mean, you got today, Mr. Puddin' Pop just got sentenced. He's going to be doing, what, 3 to 10?
Yeah, well, hey, the guy actually made albums 25 years ago talking about, giving women quaaludes and having his way with them. That was part of his sketch comedy way back in the day. But back, who knows? It is what it is. Sorry, Bill.
Yeah, Bill Cosby going to be doing some time, I guess.
Actor. He did a lot of good things. But my God, if you're going to be a perv, you're going to be a perv, whatever. Who knows? It's a sad thing.
Yeah, he's going to be in baby prison. Nobody's going to mess with Cosby.
Well, who knows what happens on that? But listen, even more important. This Manafort and this stupid Mueller investigation. I'm a little bit disappointed in Manafort. He should have tried the case. Why? Because his conviction would be overturned because it's fruit of the poisonous tree. And when you talk to Donald, if you ever get a message to him, let him know. All of that stuff is fruit of the poisonous tree. Anything they come up with on Trump is fruit of the poisonous tree. It was a bad warrant, never should have been issued. What's the courts and Rosenstein and all that crooked corruption is unbelievable. And then for them to try to cover it up is unbelievable.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe Rosenstein still has his job.
Yeah, well,
what do you think?
I think if Rosenstein gets fired, then the Democrats are going to come back and say, "Oh well, they're going to try to nail him with interference." He's going to get
fired sooner or later.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
if you want to do it after the midterms, fine. But I can't stand having that guy obstruct justice for another 45 days. These are the guys that don't want to give any documents out. They're protecting themselves and their little cadre of crooked, corrupt, big state, big government officials, the deep state, which is alive and well. And the mainstream media, they still act like it doesn't exist. Comey admitted and acknowledged in an interview, yeah, the deep state's for real. Yeah, it's made of like-minded people like me that want to protect the country. I mean, it's out there. We see it.
Well, I want to know where Mr. Recuse himself isn't doing his job, because Trump shouldn't even have to fire Rosenstein. Oh, Mr. Jeff Sessions.
Lost mind. Sessions is the deep state. They must have pictures of Sessions. He's the deep state. He should have never been appointed to that.
Right.
Worst political appointment Trump made.
I don't know why he hasn't stepped in and done his job. Okay. He's recused himself, but there's still, as the DOJ, he should be getting in there and firing Rosenstein or Frankenstein.
It doesn't matter. I'm a conservative opponent say, well, you shouldn't fire Rosenstein. Well, you're playing into the hand. Since when does CNN want to drive the train? They don't. They get the crumbs of the news. They're making it up as they go, like the New York Times, like the New Yorker, like NBC and ABC and the mainstream media. It is the worst I've ever seen it. BBC's a propaganda show. I mean, they put discredited Obama officials on all the time, the people that were the problem. And all they do is sit around and trash Trump. I get sick of it. But one thing I've noticed, since the Democrats are playing such dirty, lowball politics on Kavanaugh, who is a prince of a guy, a great guy. I wasn't great, you know, I think he'd be a great Supreme Court justice. What they're doing, I think, is backfiring. I think Republicans and independents are seeing with horror how crooked the left is. You know, they're picking on their best Republican, Olympia Snowe out of Maine. The left is ripping her up, and that's amazing.
Well, look at Elstein. Look at the second in charge at the DNC. Or look at the second in charge of the DNC, Elstein. He's got documents. Yeah, he's got he's got documents. There's all kinds of actual police records and stuff on this guy.
Actually, credible case against Ellison.
Yeah, and they're promoting him still, and not one of them. I haven't heard one Democrat person step up and say, "Okay, here you go." And even Hillary this past week, getting on there talking about, you know, well, you know, she's believable in this. What about the women that she was trashing?
In regards to Hillary, who has no credibility at all. Okay, what we got out of that statement was, I, Hillary, a known liar, a known corrupt public official, think that this lady is credible. Well, who cares what you think? We know you're not credible, and if you think she's credible, I think you're wrong. I think, you know, she's not credible. I'll go the opposite of whatever Hillary says, and then you're closer to the truth.
Oh, well, even when she says, oh, well, if you know, if we win, Trump's going to go back and try to have our election taken back. He's never going to agree that we won. Then when she loses, oh, I would never do that. Then when she loses, it's a completely different story. But, I mean, you got the uranium deal, the FISA warrants, all the stuff she's involved in, the smashing of her emails, you know. You know, the double standard, it makes me sick. It really does. And it's sad that the Department of Justice has lost some of its credibility because of what happened in Washington, D.C. I mean, Department of Justice, to be honest, they're cleaning up the FBI. They may be further along in the FBI. I still think they probably have a few problems. And I'm not sold on McCabe. I think McCabe is too worried about the FBI and protecting what is turf than actually rooting out the problem. These guys, you know, they are not to be rogue FBI agents going against the will of the executive branch. Well, he's not going to start squealing until Rosenstein gets out of there anyways. I mean, once Rosenstein gets out, watch out McCabe and those guys. I mean, they're going to be, I mean, you got Strzok and Page right now who've been playing it off. Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr. I don't understand why I got to recuse myself hasn't. And I don't understand one thing about Trump that's pissing me off this past week is why hasn't this stuff been released? I mean, he met with Rod Rosenstein.
Yeah, okay, that's something that we're going to get to. Here's the deal. Here's why Rosenstein's got to go. He went and apparently talked Trump out of releasing an unredacted. So it's got to be released unredacted. We need the transparency. We know what went on. Most of us know that it was not the way the law was supposed to be run. We know that the Obama administration had a history of weaponizing the federal government against conservatives and all those people that didn't participate in the Democratic Party groupthink. You know, the groupthink where we're going to shout you down if you disagree with our big government, nanny state, tech running everything. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah. Look at all the emails they found out this past week that Rosenstein said never existed. I mean, right there, he should be impeached on that.
Credibility. I mean, eventually, if he is ordered, see, that's where that I do think Trump's being too deferential, too nice. But what he did say, and he said it, and I believe him because Trump is a guy that says what he does and does what he says. He did say he looked forward to exposing the corruption of the Department of Justice, and he's doing it.
Well, if Trump doesn't get off his little lazy ass this week and go ahead and call for Rosenstein's impeachment or his resignation, you have a couple of Republican senators and congressmen that are going to file articles of impeachment on him. this coming
Right.
week.
I mean, the guy's days are numbered. The question is he going to resign? He wants to do it in his own way, whatever. But here's what's going on. This is what bothers me. As long as he's there, he's actively trying to cover up. This is a guy that sealed that uranium-1 information. And, you know, if you look at the characters in the crooked Democratic plot to overthrow Trump and the insurance policy, all of those characters are pretty much the same characters involved in uranium-1. And that was all about sending $150 million or whatever to the Clinton Foundation and whatever. Clintons never seemed to really put the American defense, you know, our national interest above their own financial interest. And that's a concern.
Well, I like what, you know, the Democrats is, in the last few months here have been screaming about, oh, you can't do this to Canada. You can't do this. Well, you know what? What these people, most of these people don't see is that Clinton and them and the Obama administration shipped 25% of our uranium, not straight to Russia, but they sent it to Canada, who then in turn shipped it to Russia. Now, if I was Trump, I'd kick Canada right out of the whole system. Just make them pay tariffs out the ass.
You know, I love the Canadian people. I love the country of Canada. It's a beautiful country, great place to hunt, great place to fish, great country. However, Trudeau and the Libs, the Labour Party of Canada, they're always repping the country up. They need to go back. The conservative government of Harper, they'd have been getting along great. The problem is Trudeau is an Obama clone. Okay, he's a big government guy running Canada, and he's already dished Trump. So now Trump is dishing him. Canada probably won't get a good deal until Trudeau is thrown out of the government.
Oh yeah,
Trudeau's a disaster for Canada.
And just so all of our listeners know, I love Canada. I go up there hunting, and I have a couple friends, Murray Buck and Jack, up there. You know, that are regular readers. I'm not dissing the people of Canada, just what was done. Oh, yeah. The only thing I tell everybody is if it wasn't for Canada, if it wasn't for Canada, we wouldn't have our population wouldn't be as high as it is because their quarters messed up their condom machine. So our population is going out of control. I'm going to take some backlash for that one. I always do. But, I mean, you got the whole thing with Bruce and Nettie Orr there. You know, she's sitting there taking money. It's going into his account. And still, I don't see where the transparency is for the FBI. And they're saying, well, and I know it's not all FBI agents. I mean, my daughter's going to be going in the FBI doing forensics.
FBI agents are mostly in the field. So when when they get in that bubble in D.C., that's where the cesspool of corruption is, because that's where the deep state is.
Yeah. Well, you know,
your home office, not in the field office primarily. There may be a few problems, but
with it being we the people, though, I don't understand how Mueller isn't fired right now. I mean, obviously, and they've already admitted it, and they have the email saying that it was a false dossier. You know, Rosenstein signed off on it. You got, you know, Strzok and Page. They've got all this evidence. There has been no thing of collusion. Now they're trying to get it to where, oh, well, he's interfering with our investigation. What freaking investigation? That's like I got pulled over one time, and I got arrested for resisting arrest. And I asked the judge what was the primary charge, but they arrested me for resisting arrest without violence. I'm like, what's the primary charge? What did I do to get arrested? Well, from what I understand, maybe you can correct me on it, but that is actually a charge where you can be arrested for like no charge. Just because I told a cop he was a prick.
Understanding on it, frankly, it's supposed to be a lawful arrest. And for a lawful arrest, they have to have probable cause. Okay, so if they just arrested you for resisting arrest with no underlying case, to me, that case should have been thrown out.
Well, eventually it did.
What happened?
It did. I just got pulled over, and the cop goes, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I was in a bad mood. I was a lot younger, and I said, he goes, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I said, "Yeah, because you're a prick, and you got nothing else better to do than waste my time."
Well, now you're being a smart ass to a police officer. That could cost you a night in jail.
Well, they had pulled me over 6 times. This is Volusia County Sheriff's Department, not Putman. I love the guys in Putman. But the Volusia County Sheriff's Department, like I say, it was years ago. And they had pulled me over 6 times in 9 weeks. And every time they would tell me, yeah, they told me.
Because you were a target in that Volkswagen.
No, what had happened is I bought a pickup truck at a police auction that had been in a drug bust some months back, and they kept pulling me over, and they would just illegally search my vehicle. Told me they had probable cause. So I finally just got pissed off about it, and then, you know, you can only take so much.
So what'd you get, a withholding court cost?
No, eventually finally they threw it out because I called. Well, it didn't help that I called the judge an idiot either because
no. You know, let me tell you, you need to be respectful of the judicial system. And you know what? And that's what bothers me about this thing with Kavanaugh. The lack of respect shown to Kavanaugh by the Democratic Party and Spartacus and the other losers that are Democrats that just basically want to turn our Constitution upside down. The Democratic Party is so left. They've lost their minds. They don't give a damn about our Constitution. They don't give a damn about our government. They don't give a damn about our military. And they'd have us all celebrating the jihad, singing Kumbaya if we listen to them. So we need to remember that and go out to the polls and support our president. Because, but for our president, we got a bunch of libs ruining the country.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Mine wasn't a matter of being disrespectful like Kavanaugh. I would just wonder how long before the guy snaps. You know, because
Kavanaugh's fine. He is a class guy. I think Thursday he'll acquit himself well. I'd love to see the committee go ahead and approve him Thursday. I know that idiot Avianti, commonly referred to as the creepy porn lawyer, he's supposed to he's been brushing up, training up another Democrat operative to come out with something, you know, and or another Trump hater or whatever. It is what it is. It is ridiculous what they're doing to Kavanaugh.
Oh, I know.
I think Grassley was too nice to the Dems.
Yeah, I do too. I
want that letter published. Why should they even have a hearing if Feinstein's not going to publish the garbage letter that accused Kavanaugh, but didn't accuse Kavanaugh? Kavanaugh's name was never associated with this until just recently.
Well, why did she?
They don't know when, who, where, none of this. It's all mistaken identity. That's being kind to this lady.
Yeah, why wouldn't Dianne Feinstein? She sat right up there when they were grilling him for some 100-something hours that they had him up there. Why didn't this ever come up? Since she's been sitting on this stuff for a couple of months now, why didn't she ever say anything in the hearings about it or in the confirmation hearings?
Because it was all a setup. This is all about delaying, and they don't want Kavanaugh in. But here's what the Democrats don't know. If they were to screw and be successful in destroying a fine man, okay, a guy that belongs on the Supreme Court. His mother was, the guy's written so many opinions that have been adopted by the Supreme Court. He's brilliant. But if they are successful in this, Trump will then appoint a more conservative person who will be approved.
Yeah.
It'll be more conservative. We're not ever going less. It'll be more conservative. The Democrats better watch out for what they're looking for.
Well, even if they get in office.
Kavanaugh's a conservative, but there are jurists even more conservative than Kavanaugh.
But even if they take back over the Senate and stuff this fall, come the first of the year,
have no shot at taking over the Senate.
Do they think that the Republicans are going to let them put anybody in? No, it's going to be the same crap. And then you're going to have a 3-3 vote.
No. I think Kavanaugh's going to get. I think he's going to be approved. I think they're going to do the same thing to Kavanaugh they did to Clarence Thomas. And Clarence Thomas went on to have a great career, and I think Kavanaugh will go on to have a great career.
Well, yeah, what they did to Thomas was.
I'm right about this. I don't know for sure, but I don't have a crystal ball. But to be honest, the Dems, I think it's backfiring on them. I mean, the American public knows. I heard that only 1 in 4 women believe this accuser of Kavanaugh. But there's not even an allegation. The original allegation was somebody, don't know who, don't know when, don't know where, know I'd been drinking. I mean, maybe she's some drama queen that, wants to think that people are hitting on her when they're not. I mean, who knows?
Well, here's the one thing.
40 years old. The whole thing is absurd.
Here's the one thing. Come November, What are the Democrats running on? I mean, do you even know? Because I have no idea, except for we're going to take away the crumbs. We're going to somebody told me I sound like Hannity the other day.
They're running on. They want to raise taxes. Okay.
Yeah, raise taxes.
We want to give more money to the government and have them spend our hard-earned money. Then we need to go vote for Democrats.
The things that I can see.
I don't want that to happen.
The things that I can see are all to trash the Constitution. Okay, we're going to take away your taxes. We're going to add more. Okay, this tax cut you got, that's going to go away. We're going to add more taxes. We're going to take away your freedom of speech.
Kill the economy.
Yeah, we're going to take away the freedom of speech. We're going to screw the health care up worse than it was. And these people do not understand that's out there right now. This Obama health care or the Affordable Care Act, it was a tax. And the money that they were going to have to pay in, I mean, you're talking about a 40% increase.
It's not quite dead yet, but they're killing it slowly but surely.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out.
Good. They'll come up with a better plan.
I mean,
something better.
I listened to this guy running for governor of Florida, and he's sitting there saying, and I'm not going to say because he's a black guy. If I say his name, everybody's going to go, "It's a racist thing." It's not. But I've sat there and heard him, and just like
disagree with somebody's policies and not be a racist, okay? But that's part of the Democratic playbook. You criticize a Democratic politician that happens to be black, you're a racist. Well, that's bull-loney.
Look what Hillary and some of the Democrats were saying this week. I mean, even what's his name for the head of the Democratic Party? All white men are racist. They're all women haters. If you voted for Trump, you're scum.
Whatever.
Yeah, So anybody that voted for Trump is scum. Just so you guys know that. And you're idiots.
You know what?
Implorables.
There's a video out there that answers a lot of those left-wing lunatics, and basically the Republicans and the Trump supporters. We basically won, okay? And we are going to do whatever it takes to keep you guys into the little hole that you're in so you don't do any more damage to our country, okay? And you Democrats can take the Antifa and stick it where the sun don't shine. I'm so sick and tired of the Antifa and the uncivilized Democrats, and they want to turn everything into some stupid, ridiculous looting and protesting and turn everything against America. They're the most anti-American crowd I've ever seen. We got a great country here. Let's keep it and make it even greater.
Oh, yeah. I had my daughter-in-law tell me the other day the Electoral College should be done away with. And I'm like, what is it you don't understand about the Electoral College? That is there and set up to be for fair. Huh?
That's another Democrat position.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Electoral College is what makes America great. It was designed to do exactly what it did, which means that the people of California and the people of New York do not get to decide alone on who's going to be the president of the United States.
Yep.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah, well, it's like all these guys that are running on, well, we need to be a socialist country. We need to get away from the Electoral College. They have no concept of what this stuff even means or how it even works. How many seats there are, how many of this, how many of that. All I can tell you is, well, what needs to be changed? The Constitution needs to be rewritten.
No, here's the thing. No, none of that needs to be changed. What needs to change is the quality of the education these kids are getting. You got to understand, it all goes back to the Podesta memo. The Dems own the education. Every liberal idea in education is going on in Jacksonville right now. It's one reason our schools are so bad. Most of your school boards, there are a few exceptions, but most of them in Florida are liberal. They're very liberal tinged. So the kids are learning a bunch of garbage, frankly. The Common Core curriculum is terrible. So it is what it is. They're not being taught history. They're not being taught civics the way they should be. They're just now bringing civics back. Where'd it go for 30 years? Gee, I don't know. But in any event, they're not teaching the kids history.
Oh, no,
it's
exactly.
History now.
Well, I had this conversation with a young kid the other day, and I said to him, well, our intergeneration, the generation you and I are from, Greg, we've seen man put on the moon. We've seen computers. We've seen colored TVs. We've seen, these kids wouldn't know what it was to lift a needle up on and put it on a radio or tune in a TV station. our generation is the one, and the generation before us, that came up with all the technology crap that we have today, and then they ran off of it. But can you name me?
You're right on, spot on. Bill Gates, all these tech guys, they all had the traditional education that you and I had that made America great. So what do? They get rid of it. They come up with Common Core. Or here, let's do this math where we have a bunch of circles and have our kids just circling stuff. And there's no right way to do anything. And they've dumbed down our kids so much where they have trouble reading and doing math. But yet they teach them how to work a computer so they can get in trouble for being on a computer doing something they shouldn't be doing. I mean, the whole thing is absurd.
Oh, yeah. I went to Tallahassee a couple years ago, and I listened to when they started the Common Core crap. And I listened to a woman standing up there giving her whole spill. Now, this is through Ted Kennedy, our drunk senator, that helped come up with this crap, and Obama. And I watched this woman. I watched this woman that was under the Obama administration stand up there, and she said, now, if a child marks 3 times 4 is 11 or 3 times 4 is 13, and they do the formula, do not check that kid's answer wrong because he at least tried. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I stood up and I said, so now, does this mean that this same kid that doesn't know 3 times 4 is 12 is going to be doing my taxes and I'm going to be thrown in jail? Is this the same kid that is going to be building my house that doesn't know anything about load-bearing walls or uplift from a hurricane? Is this the same kid that's going to be off by a few thousand points? You know, they escorted me out of there. But, I mean, can you believe that? 3 times 4 is 13 or 3 times 4 is 11. Just because they do this long-ass formula, we should give them credit for it. Bullshit.
That's the liberal way, you know. It's like, here's your participation trophy.
Oh, yeah.
And let's feminize the NFL. And let's feminize everything. And, you know, let me tell you something. There are differences between men and women, and I'm so happy there are. And we were all created, and I'll tell you, God made men to be men, He made women to be. And when you start blurring the lines, you start getting into some trouble.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I got in trouble for that before because I did a video. We're going to have to put it up here when I was
when I was a kid, I was a boy. I didn't go to the girls' bathroom. I went to the boys' bathroom.
Yeah, and I did a video. Can we get that up for tomorrow night sometime? Or we'll get it up we'll have it on next Tuesday night. I'll give you that. At the doctor's office, they had this thing setting there, and it's a board, and it shows this body right there. And so I did this thing on transgender, and I said, if you look down and you see a nub sticking out, guess what? You're a guy. If you look down and there's nothing there, you're a woman. That's the way you were built. And I know I'm going to catch a lot of heat for this, but I don't give a crap.
That's the way it should be. Unless you're in California. See, Bruce Jenner, until he has been surgically made into a woman, which he hasn't had the surgery. So I don't know if he's certainly a man. I wouldn't call him a woman.
Well,
but there you go. I mean, there you go. There you go.
Well, so Jenner got on there and said, I'm not gay. I've never been gay. But yet his girlfriend, which is a guy, has a penis swinging there. And he's still got a penis swinging, and they're sleeping together. If that's not gay, flip a coin and call me shaved. I don't know what is. But, you know, you can't say.
To each their own. So, and, you know, we're not here to knock anybody's alternative lifestyle.
Well,
but it should be known as an alternative lifestyle and not a mainstream lifestyle. Now, unless you're in the mainstream media, because that's where the world is turned upside down. In the mainstream media, the mainstream lifestyle is the gay lifestyle. See CNN anchors. And the mainstream lifestyle is the gay lifestyle. See ABC, Meet the Press. But that's the mainstream in the media. But the mainstream in America, a man's a man, a woman's a woman. We complement each other.
Well, what happens when he gets his tallywhacker whacked off there and his boyfriend, girlfriend / I'm all confused as hell now, gets his pecker cut off? Doesn't that still make them lesbian? Wait, I got to be politically correct here. Women in comfortable shoes.
I can't keep up with it all. But look, I mean, you know, people are going to do what they want to do, and you know, and the law. I think, you know, myself, I personally think marriage should be defined as a commitment between a man and a woman. However, the politically correct crowd now, it's anything goes in marriage. okay, well, that's it. But myself, I still will believe until the day I die that marriage is to be between a man and a woman. Okay, that's, because it's about procreation. Okay, I do think the idea of marriage had to be, maybe a woman came up with that. I don't know, but no, just kidding. But the fact is marriage is about procreation. It's about, your family. It's about the family unit. And to get away from that, and that's the whole liberal dogma. We don't want family. We want government to be your family.
Yeah, the whole government. Frankly, I don't care what anybody does. If they want to sleep and get married with each other, I don't care.
I don't care either. I don't want to know. Just, whatever you guys, whatever two consenting adults do it behind the closed doors, fine. But you don't have to get out there and act like everybody else should adopt your lifestyle.
Exactly. And whether it's Democrat, homosexuality, Democrat, Republican, I don't want anybody to believe what I want to believe. I want them to look at what the facts are. I mean, just like with you being an attorney, you look at what the facts are, and I'll try the case, or your ass is guilty. There's nothing I can do to help you out. But if the facts are the facts, is where I sit at. And the facts is that, like Carl Flagg down here, he's a Democrat, but he's old school Democrat, and he still has some good moral ethics. And he's still... Actually, he's more of a Republican now.
He must be quite alarmed at what he sees.
Oh, yeah. I asked him the other day when I was talking to him on the phone if he's going to run, when is he going to run for politics again? He goes, I'm running from politics right now.
Yeah, I would too. I'll tell you what, the Democrats have done a big disservice to the country. My biggest concern about Democrats in general is, I have the Donald Trump here. They want to shout you down. If you don't have their group think, and you know what? They're also economic illiterates. They don't understand the economy. They've never had. The last great Democrat was JFK. He knew what was going on with the economy. Okay, he did a great job. He was a supply sider. He was a lot like Reagan with his tax cut and Trump with his tax cut. Another great president. JFK, he would recoil in horror at the Democratic Party today.
Well, you know what has happened that I see, Greg, is that the new generation, we were Generation X, and whatever they wanted to call us, 10 different generations. The millennials now have been raised by the Democratic Party as far as entitlements, as far as socialism. Education. Yeah, and the education has turned them into a bunch of panty-waist guys. I haven't seen a real man guy in a long time. I mean, I've tried to raise my son like that, but where are all the real men at anymore? You got these guys walking around with their pants.
We're here. You and me and Chris and frankly the people that care enough about the country to stand up and say, look, you guys are crazy. We've got a great president now. Let him govern. Yeah. We support Trump. Trump saved the Republican Party, probably saved the country. And I love what he's doing with his foreign policy. And that on speech in the United Nations today, brilliant. Globalism is killing. Globalism is not good. I mean, yeah, you want to have global cooperation, but globalism as a means to an end and have a few super rich people rule the globe. Give me a break. I don't want that. I'm an American first.
Can you imagine what it would be like right now if Hillary had gotten voted in? The corruption that's in the FBI right now, and that's still going on, by the way. Can you imagine where the hell it would be? None of this stuff would be found out. By the time we got to her 4-year term, look where it would be at. I mean, we'd be sitting in communism by now.
Well, look, the country, I really believe there may have been divided race, who knows? But Trump ran a great race. He redefined the Republican Party. And frankly, I want fair trade. I mean, for years, we were talked about NAFTA this, and, the Republicans were all free traders. I'm a free trader, but I'm a fair trader too. And Trump is right. He's right to call out Canada. He's right to call out China. He's right, to call out rogue states in the United Nations. I mean, I'm happy with what he's doing. He's doing a great job. I don't understand how people can say, oh, my goodness, other countries aren't crazy about America. You know what? The other countries want a weak America. The mainstream media, where everything is turned upside down. When we have a weak, pathetic president, other countries love us. Oh, they'll pat pat him on the back. Oh, yeah. Nice way to cut your defense budget. And McCain did a lot. I remember in the 80s when they did all these base foreclosures. I'm thinking, man, you're rushing this. And then we got, because you don't know. Then you got an Obama, and we had more years of decline in our military. So we needed to do what we needed to do, and Trump is doing a great job. We need to keep him in. We need to support our president and get out there and vote. Vote for the Republican candidate so we can go ahead and keep this prosperity going, and we want it to get even better, and it will.
Yeah, instead of like in Calvin O's song where it says the land of the free and the home of the brave, one nation under God, pretty soon it's going to be land of the criminals and home of the weak. I mean, you got these guys from Antifa.
The Democratic Party. Good, glad you mentioned that. What political party cares more about illegal immigrants than their own citizens? Today's Democratic Party. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah. Look at all these actors and actresses are up there bitching and raising hell, and they're trying to raise money. That now, George Clooney kissed my white ass. George Clooney was sitting there talking about he's doing this whole thing, and him and a couple of other actors and actresses are doing this thing to raise money for these illegal immigrants. Illegal is the key word here. Illegal immigrants that are coming across the border to help them out. Yet we have a veteran tonight that's 88 years old that his house burnt down, and I don't see where Clooney's little millionaire ass and all these other people are helping him out. This is a guy who served in the war in 1944 to 1954, has nothing but a pair of boxers tonight, and I don't see one freaking actor.
Somebody will hear this and try to do something for that guy. He deserves better, I can tell you that.
Yeah, we got a guy living up in his car, him and his wife, that came down here and had a job promised to him. There's living in Walmart parking lot right now. They don't do any drugs and everything else. And where are these actors and actresses helping these people out when they got a couple of kids that need food? You got 20-something, 40-something kids that go to the soup kitchen every day to get food up there that Mr. Dave Yance is helping out. They try to shut him down, and that was a Democrat, by the way, tries to shut this guy down. Where are these actors and actresses helping the people and the kids in our communities? You got them all over Jacksonville. We have them here in Putnam County. But these kids that go to bed hungry at night only have a couple of meals at school that they eat. Where the hell are these guys at helping our people here?
You know what Putnam County needs right now? They need a hero.
Yeah, they need something.
They need a hero.
Yeah.
Right now, the closest thing we've got to a hero in this country is President Donald J. Trump. We need to keep him, keep our support and keep him in office and keep these Democrats off his back. And I hope the rest of the country sees how crooked they are and with all of their shenanigans. And, Kavanaugh is as fine a gentleman as you'll ever see. And for the Republicans to give Kagan and the other lib a free pass, and I didn't think either one of them were particularly brilliant or were particularly good judges, and they're not. All they're doing is trying to shred the Constitution. So we always are going to have 3 or 4. Whenever there's a Democrat in there, they want to put somebody in there that'll shred the Constitution. It's wrong.
Well, let me ask you this, Greg.
Maybe Garland would have been better. But those other 2 are super libs, and I'm not impressed with either one of them.
I have
Obama's 2 appointments.
I have a question for you. Okay, Kavanaugh has over 200 women that have written letters of recommendation, and another 300 and something people that have written letters of recommendation for him. Okay, so 500 and something letters now to this guy. Hell, I know a ton of people from having the Putman Way and the ITW radio. I would be hard-pressed to get 20 people to write something good about me.
I agree.
I mean,
but you know what I'm afraid of? Well, I can't say I'm not afraid of anything. But I'll tell you what's going on. The Dems have never negotiated in good faith with Grassley. They always wanted to string it along to Thursday so they could start coaching other people up to make false allegations against this guy, because the Dems are very Machiavellian. Unlike the Republicans who try to portray themselves as good guys, whatever. But the bottom line is they're very Machiavellian on the Democratic side. and it's all about taking down Kavanaugh and trying to hurt the president.
Right. Hey, we're going to play one commercial tonight. We're not going to do any more than that here in a few minutes.
Go ahead, take some money. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to keep you.
Oh, no. That's one of Cletus's commercials. I told him I would put it up here in a little bit. Unfortunately, my IT guy disappeared. I don't know where in the hell he went to. But we're going to play one of Cletus's commercial. And I was telling you before we went on the air, you need to get Cletus to do a commercial about your law firm. The guy's nuts. You met him on the air that night.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't do commercials. I don't even like advertise. I think advertising per se demeans the legal profession. I hate to see it, but it happens.
Oh, man, nice watch. I collect watches. You know that.
Oh, thank you. That's there you go. Hey. Where is it? There you go. You gonna see it? There you go. It's my manly watch. Or I don't know. Wait a minute. I can't quite get it.
What is it? Rolex?
There it is. No.
Yeah, I've got.
Why would I want to watch that doesn't keep good time?
This is the one that I've got on tonight.
Oh, that's cool. Very nice.
I just got a new Batman watch. Batman and Superman watch.
Because what can men wear? That a watch, a tie, maybe a ring, maybe a hat.
You know what?
We're limited.
I was looking at a thing the other day that watch sales worldwide have fallen off big time, all because of cell phones. Nobody has cell phones. Everybody uses cell phones anymore instead of watches. But we're gonna.
Well, that's pretty dumb. This concerns me. This whole movement, the 5G. All of these things, they're microwaves. And I remember before the smartphones came out, right about the time the iPhone was coming out, the flip phones. Well, there was a big deal about radiation coming from flip phones. And there was something that you could put on a flip phone to help avoid the radiation. You could actually, I've seen it, they put a Geiger counter on it. I wonder how much radiation comes from these smartphones. Because the way we're using them, some people are like, I'm not one to be, glued to a phone. But there are a lot of people that, they have to have them 24/7.
Well, because
I wouldn't know if it's radioactive. I don't want to know if I want to have it in my pocket that long.
I'm probably going to have a big old tumor coming out the side of my head because I'm on this thing all freaking day long. And I hate cell phones. If it wasn't for the stuff that we do, I wouldn't even have, internet. But unfortunately, it allows us to get a bigger
tools out there. It's a shame, though, that it's a shame that Google and Facebook and the other groups are Apple, and they're all so. Who was the company that they were all having like a crisis because Trump won? Maybe it was Google.
Google.
Anyway, my goodness, but you don't have to change the algorithms to try to silence conservatives. That's what bothers me about the internet and about some of these search engines and then their denials. And, that's all ridiculous.
Well, Google, Facebook, Twitter. I've even noticed Yahoo lately has gone so far left I can't even keep up with them.
What really gets me about it is they want to silence conservatives, but yet they let the jihad say whatever they wanted to all during Obama's presidency.
Yeah.
Really? They were enabling the jihad. They were enabling all of that. That's what bothers me about them. They don't care about America. And then the hypocrite Google, then they go and in China, they're just going ahead and censoring everything that the Chinese government wants. Really? You call that, free information and freedom of information? So Google's just another, they operate like a corrupt Democratic politician, if you ask me.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to do this Cletus commercial, but Aiden just wrote in and said hi. So hi, you doing, Aiden? Aiden's one of our younger listeners. He's going to be doing some videos for us.
I hope he's
yeah. Aiden's cool. He's 14. The kid is just kick butt. But I got to put his dad's commercial. It's a Cletus, one of Cletus's thing. So we're going to break for this. It's about a minute long? Yeah, we'll put this up real quick. So just hang in there for a second. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, hello there. I'm Cletus with Cletus Paint and Body Works.
Now I'm redoing this 2018 vintage golf cart here. Was involved in a wreck. An old woman sitting on a scooter being pulled by a deer, and it hit the front end right here and messed it all up. This ain't no $29.99 paint job. It was $31.72 by God, plus the 6-pack of beer. Oh God.
Cletus, get the hell out of here. What are you doing? I told you not to come to my
golf
shop.
cart. You leave me alone, man. What's wrong with you?
Folks, this thing is not a 2018 golf cart. It's a 1964 Cushman. This thing was painted chrome yellow in the front, all the fiberglass, and actually little accents like the grab bar and stuff, and a little insert on the dash. We turned around, put floors in it, repaired all the seat pan and stuff in it, bed linered all the inside and underneath to keep it from rotting. Folks, if you need a good affordable paint job, either if it's vintage or something new that's wrecked, come see Bob down at Eastside Collision and Towing. It's 286 Highway 17 South, East Palatka, Florida. Phone number is 386-227-0003. Cletus, get out of here.
Listening, by God. You come see Cletus and Cletus Paint Body. 386-277-0003.
You don't even know the number. That's my phone number. Get out of here. It's 227-0003.
Who you like better? You call them both.
Get out of here.
Like,
Go
man,
on.
don't talk to me like I'm gonna go see the liver gene.
Go on, get out of here.
I'm gonna come put a knot on your head, big
Go
enough
on, get
for a
out of
baby
here.
calf or
Get out of
something.
here.
Oh my God.
Go on.
Leave me alone.
Interesting.
Yeah, you know, you met Bob before. Bob's a good guy.
Yeah, Bob's a great guy. Does some good work. He's a great mechanic and a great body man. Good people.
Yeah, he is. Now, people, and they want to come see you because before we get back on this political stuff, your law firm up there in Jacksonville. You're in
Just
downtown.
have them call me. I have a law degree, will travel. You know, I do a few cases in Palatka a year. If someone, you know, has got an issue or a question, they want to give me a call at 904-358-8180, they can call me, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, if you guys
you know, we try to help people around here.
Yeah, if you guys want to look back on the thing, the time is 8:26. You can look back and see the commercial here and pull his number up. It's 904-358-8180, right?
You got it.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Greg will come down. Matter of fact, I just gave you somebody else today, or referred somebody else today that needs some help from me. So, all right.
Well, I know we're running out of time, getting a little bit late in the day, but we've covered a lot of ground. I hope next week by this time the Kavanaugh's on the Supreme Court. If not, I'm sure we'll have something to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the air tonight. And, well, you going to be back next Tuesday night, or you got a big case you're going to be trying?
We had a little technical difficulty a few weeks ago, and then, of course, the hurricanes and all that. But, yeah, I enjoy coming on and mixing it up with you.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on always, Greg. Not only my personal attorney and my business attorney, but you're one of my real good friends. And if you guys need a good lawyer, you need to call him up.
I have done legal work for you in the past.
Yes, he has, and probably will be doing more in the future.
Well, let's keep it simple then, okay? All right, have a great day.
I will. I'll try not to get in too much trouble. If it'll do, I'm sure it'll be just for slander. Do you handle slander cases?
Listen, if you know people that have an opioid addiction or a problem with opioids, I encourage them to go get their medical marijuana license, a prescription, and then they can begin a life without opioids.
Right.
Okay, because they're killing the country.
Now, have you heard of anything when they're going to be, before we kick you off the air here, have you heard anything I've heard rumor that the state is going to be, because a lot of people that I've talked to that have opioid problems, the problems that have been there is now that the doctors can only write 5 to 7 day prescriptions, is that their insurance.
They need to get off of that. That stuff is nothing. It's terrible. It's big pharma. It's all bad.
Well,
they need to get off the opioids and onto the marijuana. Then they'll have a better life.
Yeah.
Take it from the lawyer.
Yeah, but have you heard anything of when they're, like, the insurance companies might be covering it? Because some of these people, it's $250 for them to get a doctor, and then they write the prescription. And total, I don't
know. I know that in Jacksonville, near Memorial Hospital, there is a big doctor's office that is, plugged into the marijuana thing. I mean, you got to have certain illnesses. One of the most common ones, post-traumatic stress. sleeping disorders, anxiety disorders. You know, I've looked into it because we've had a few clients that have had to go that way. I will tell you this, the opioids are so bad, the first prescription you get will make you an addict if you take it and refill it. So I would encourage people to avoid them like the plague.
Yeah, I do the same recommendation. I don't. The only pills I take are heart medications. Hell, I have to have this stuff hanging around my neck. People want to know what's in this black bag all the time.
Is that nitroglycerin?
Yeah, it is. I'll pull it out and show people. I don't ever show anybody, but yeah, I have to keep the nitro hanging all the time till I have the final big blowout or something.
So if you felt like you were having a heart attack, do you take a nitroglycerin pill? Is that what it is?
Yeah, and I try not to take them, but yeah, they just, with the heart starts to stop, then you put one of those under your tongue. And then
how do you know when you need to take one is what I'm asking.
When it feels like somebody's grabbing your heart and just squeezing the piss out of it. Yeah, it sucks. That would be cool.
Didn't you have a heart surgery a while back?
Yeah, and they repaired the mitral valve in my heart and stuff, but there was one part of the heart that had too much damage. They said from, too much fast food. And
can that come back a little bit on its own or naturally, or can you do anything to rehab it?
They're trying to take in right now and trying to correct it with some medications. It's from plaque buildup. A lot of people think plaque with a dental, but it's not. Like plaque can be with,
Well, I understand that. I understand your bloodstream. And guess what? There are some natural, my understanding is there are certain things that you can do that help reduce plaque. And you might want to, just keep looking, because there are some supplements that I think that they're supposed to do that. I don't know. You keep looking.
Yeah.
Good luck on that health issue.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting better. Last time I went to the doctor, he gave me, I haven't had to take a nitro now in like 2 weeks, but it's all about.
Smoke, do you?
Yeah, I'm still trying to quit. I'm down to like a couple a day.
You need to give up the cancer sticks.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it.
I'm going to leave you with this thought, okay? And I want to tell you I enjoyed being on your show today. I'm going to leave you with this thought. A friend of mine who I liked, I went to Florida State with him. He was SAE with me, and he smoked cigarettes. He loved Marlboro Reds. And I said, Tom, man, you need to cut back on the cigarettes. He's smoking a pack a day, in college. I'm like, man, Tom, you need to quit smoking. You need to get rid of that. Those are bad. I mean, you know what Tom Emery said to me? He said, takes a man to face cancer.
Yeah, well,
kept smoking.
Yeah, I tell you what, when you wind up getting, because I went through the 7 rounds of chemo and radiation, that made a big turnaround, and it was the kidneys that is ultimately shut down from drinking too much sodas. And people think, they're out there tanking up on sodas. What happened was my kidneys shut down, and that caused the heart problems. And once that happened, it was like a big domino effect. And then I wound up getting diagnosed with a cancer. I went through the dialysis. In a year's time, went through dialysis, radiation, chemo treatment, and 2 heart surgeries in 12 months. And that was a bitch.
And you beat it.
Yeah, I'm still kicking. I woke up this morning. That was a kickstart.
Wow. Hey, if I was you, I'd be happy every day I woke up.
Oh, man, I'm telling you. But I've made a bunch of lifestyle changes as far as, fast foods every now and again. The cigarettes basically have cut out. Now it's pretty much this. H2O.
Yeah, water is far better than soda. All right.
All right, Greg.
All right. Well, anything else you want to cover before I go?
No, that's it. If you want,
have we covered most everything?
If you want to give me your autograph, please make sure it's on the bottom of the right hand side of a check. I'll be glad to accept that autograph, because you're getting a lot of people that like listening to you being on the air. I look forward to having you back on here next Tuesday night. Then.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week, and have a great, safe week.
All right. You too, Greg.
All right. Good night. Right.
That was Greg Williams, attorney at law, PA, and he just closed his tablet out. So we are now off the air with him. Are we going to go ahead and do? Oh, we're off the air in 11 minutes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We got something fun we were going to put up tonight.
Yeah, let's put something fun up.
Did you get the animal ones?
Actually, haven't. Let's see. What do I have here? Man throws another man off Florida bridge. Officer then pulls his gun.
Did you get the one Travis was just referring to?
No.
Okay.
Well, what's the
Sorry,
funny
guys.
one?
We had a last-minute throw together on the show tonight. There was a lot of news going on today, breaking news. So.
Yeah, Bill Cosby, 3 to 10 years. That's what you get
Next
when
one
you
over, I
disrespect
believe. What is
women.
that one?
Yeah, let's do this one.
What is that?
You'll find out. Let me play the video.
Oh, this is going to
It's
be a surprise to me
news. Ooh,
Oh
we
wait,
got something special.
what the hell? I hope this isn't about me.
Okay, let's see what IT's got. Uh-oh, can you unplug that from underneath, please?
Yep, hold on.
We have somebody calling in, and we're not taking calls tonight.
Oh, that was for me anyway. I'll call them back.
Alright, cool.
Okay, go ahead and play.
I am playing the video.
And surprise, surprise. Okay, so, ever had a date end like this?
We decided that we'd like to continue on back at my place. We got a bottle of wine and went back to my house to watch a documentary. She went to the toilet, unfortunately it wouldn't flush and she decided to throw it out the window. Now my house is a bit quirky, the bathroom window doesn't actually open out to the outside garden, it opens out into a little air gap and there's a double glazed window between that and the outside garden. So unfortunately her business got stuck in the air gap between the two windows. She was reaching into the window with a plastic bag over her hand to try and reach the poo out of the window. Now she couldn't quite reach, obviously, it's quite a deep window, so she basically put her head and her shoulders in through into the window. She was then upside down in the window. She did manage to grab the poo in the plastic bag. She passed out to me, I put it back in the toilet, that was all fine. Fortunately at that moment she asked me to help her get out and she was stuck. She was a lot calmer than me, she was a lot more cool, calm and collected than I was.
Oh, she's hanging upside down.
Yeah, she got stuck upside down. She
finished the bottle of wine and decided to call it a night there. The window's going to cost probably £300–400, which isn't money that I have available to me. So one of my friends actually suggested that we should set up a GoFundMe page.
Okay, so this guy got...
well, I'm really busy with my dissertation at the moment.
You can go ahead and pull that down now,
Chris. I don't know. She's certainly very, very...
Okay, so the guy invites a girl over to his house. She takes a dump in his toilet. And then the toilet doesn't work, so she tries throwing it out the window, but the buildings are real close together, so it sticks on the other window. So she takes a baggie and puts it over her hand and tries to get the poo out, and then and it gets stuck between the buildings and has to hand her crap back up to the guy.
I mean, what kind of that was
That's
kind
a
of
hell
a
of a
cool.
date.
That was kind of a cool. He was kind of cool though. I mean, I don't know if I'd actually take a bag of poo from somebody, but she was stuck in the window, so I mean.
Sweetheart, if I take you out on a date and you crap in my toilet, the biggest thing
it was
you'd
my
hear-
fault you told it and flushed that you threw it out the window, but now I got you stuck upside down trying to get the poo out you threw.
Well, if she threw one at my house, if I went out on a date and took a woman out, she did that crap at my house, she'd hit one of the horses. I wouldn't have to worry about that. Yeah, I could do a GoFundMe account for please help me clean up my Mustang, my horse, and that or it'd land on my truck. That pissed me off. I'd have a turd emblem.
This one is a bunch of football tackles in quick succession.
Let's see. Well, we have to get on up out of here in about 5.5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Did you want to show the tackles real quick? Now we could just use a couple minutes, and then we can move on to the
Yeah, and then I've got to close out. I've got something I want to tell everybody, so don't go anywhere. This is some tackles that were happening, different
tackles. For those
tackles.
of you that can't see that are listening to ITW Radio, you can check it out on itwradio.com, or you can go to the YouTube page, click on ITW Radio. You'll see it live. So, but yeah, so this is some fun tackles.
Keep the volume down so you can talk over it.
No, you're good. Go ahead and turn it on.
No, it's good.
This is definitely worth watching, y'all.
This is where the guys get clobbered. This is for all of our guy watchers right here. This is some man stuff. Boom.
This is football season, so it's worth it.
Here comes the boom. Oh, that had to hurt.
Man, that's some harsh tackles. Wipe out.
Yeah, back when I played football, that was called snot pop.
Did you ever get snot pop? You used to play Alabama.
Yeah, I've got my cake waxed a few times. Just about like this, right? Boom, there. I've had that happen. My helmet flew off. Boom. Oh, he's out.
Oh, both of them are out.
Yeah, the old school stuff, they didn't have much padding in the helmet either back when I played. These guys are all padded up right now.
So that was just some fun tackles because it's football season. So
Yeah, what happened to our video?
we were getting ready to do our closeout.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we just put that up for
yeah.
our guy listeners. It's a kind of like a guy thing, you know. It's called a snot pop. And to our high school kids that are out there playing, I've got to say I'm real proud. And I don't know the guy's last name, but it's a guy at Placa High. His name, I remember the first name. I can't forget that. It was Travis. Anyways, this kid went out with a color guard and actually flew the colors of the American flag and stood up for the national anthem. He took up for the flag and stuff like that. And to you, if you're listening, buddy, I am so freaking proud of you.
I think that deserves an applause. I mean, that's
let's give this kid an
amen.
applause for what he
Thank
did.
God. I'm glad to hear these kids doing it.
I don't think he could hear the applause.
No,
but
I think the applause went into the silence.
that applause sucked. Yes, can we turn that applause up to give this kid applause?
It again.
There we go.
There we go. That's the Travis.
I was going
over
to
at
say, that young
Placa
man, he
High.
deserves a heck of an applause. I mean, I'm glad to see a young man standing up for it. I mean, it's okay to stand up for what you believe in, but if you're going to stand up for what you believe in, I think you should need to research the topics.
Boycott the NFL. Go with college right now. There was a little 3-4-year-old girl that got up and sang the national anthem the other day, and ESPN wouldn't play it because of all this crap with the thing. That little girl just wailed it out. Me and Greg were talking about that before, or Greg and I, to be politically correct. Plus, I know my old English teacher is listening to this. I don't mean she's old. I mean one English teacher I had in high school. By the way, Lindy Burkhart, Miss Burkhart, I hope you're doing better. She was in the hospital a few weeks ago. She's had some heart problems and stuff. But I got to give my shout-outs to Aiden. Little Aiden, I know you're listening. Mama B. Let's see, who do we have? We have Cindy Shaw. Those are the ones we're writing in. Annette. BB. Audrey BB. Mr. Steve. Gary and Tiffany. Tammy, my best friend. I know she's listening. She might be at the grocery store still. But I want you guys to pray for Tammy. She's been going. They're checking her heart out and stuff like that. She's probably going to get pissed off for me saying that. But you guys, she's a great.
Keep her in prayer. She does a lot of work on the Putnam Way, y'all. She's what keeps it going.
She's a great lady. She busts her ass to keep the Putnam Way up and going and giving you guys news 24 hours a day. She's been my best friend since middle school. I love her to death. Without being married or girlfriend, she's what I consider my. Actually, I guess I'm her evil twin. But she's been my best friend for years and years and years. I want you guys to say a prayer for her tonight before you go to bed that, everything works out. She's got cardiology appointments and stuff like that. And then I really miss seeing her, and I just hope the best for her. Who else we got shout-outs to? Chris, you still got to say hi. Where's the hand? Mr. Hand. There it is. Hello. To my program manager, Marie, to Tammy and Cameron over there for what they do on the Putnam Way. Now, you guys can check us out on ITW Radio. If you go and check us out on, before I go on to that, Scott over there at Walmart, I want to thank him today. He donated a pallet of water. We're going to go pick it up tomorrow afternoon or Thursday afternoon. I've got a doctor's appointment I have to go to, so after I get back from that, he has donated a pallet of water to our volunteer firefighters. I want to thank him for that. Scott, you rock. That guy's a hell of a guy, But you guys can check us out on YouTube. Make sure you hit that little bell to the right there. But check out the Cletus videos. I know Cletus is looking for more than 4 followers. Check out our artists like Calvin O, One Nation Under God, Austin Neal, Catherine Coward. She was on Cowardly. She's going to kick my butt. Cloward.
Alyssa Caroline's going to be on tomorrow night.
Yeah, Alyssa Caroline. God, I love that. The young lady's 16 years old, and she wails it out like she's been in the music industry for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, she's going to be on. If you guys come back at 7:30 tomorrow night to same place, same time.
You guys got to check her out, man.
She is amazing.
She rocks the freaking house out.
We're gonna have
she
her
writes her
live.
own music, too. But check us out on
interview.
Facebook, ITW Radio. You can check us out on YouTube, ITW Radio. Remember, hit that little notification bell up there. Subscribe, like the page, the same on Facebook. If you want to catch news, whether it's local or national, go to The Putman Way, T-H-E, Putman, P-U-T-N-A-M, Way, W-A-Y. I want to thank all of our first responders, our volunteer firefighters, our EMS workers, all the first responders, our sheriff's department, for everything that they do and keeping us safe. You guys be safe out there. Make sure when you see a veteran or a cop today, and I actually got to thank a cop today in there. They went up and thanked him for his service. Thank these first responders. You guys keep them in your prayers. I got to get out of here. I ain't got to go home, but I got to go somewhere. We love you. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 7:30. I'm out.
Good night, y'all.
By the way, we're closing it out with it's Calvin O, right? Yeah, Calvin, you rock, man.
Full to rod and fell.
Oh yeah, I love this song.
About 1,000,000 girls.
I wish I could sing like
I'd
this.
love 'em and leave
I'd have a
them
girlfriend.
alone. I didn't care how much they cried. Their tears left me cold like a stone. But I fooled around and fell. I fooled around and fell. I fooled around and fell in love. I fooled around and fell in love with you. Used to be, I met a girl I liked. I'd take out my book, write down her name. And when the grass got greener on the other side, I'd just tear out the page. But I fooled around and fell. I fooled around and fell. I fooled around and fell in love. I fooled around and fell in love with you. Free on my own, that's the way I used to be. Ever since I met you, love's got a hold on me. Yes, I fooled around and fell. I fooled around and fell. I fooled